Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you prepare your share.
Today we are braising the roof. So braising is not as scary as it sounds. You've probably done this and didn't even know that you did this. Braising is a cooking technique where both dry and moist heat is used. Food's typically seared at a very high heat, then finished cooking at lower temperatures in a covered pot with some liquid.
This technique is frequently used for cuts of meat, beef, chicken, or pork, that are more affordable and less tender right off the bat. The first step browns the food for that extra flavor, and then the second part tenderizes that piece of meat and cooks down any extra fat.
Aha, so pressure cookers and slow cookers are two tools used in braising. Today we're showing this technique using a Dutch oven on the stovetop. We love these heavy bottom pots. They work really well, keeping all of the heat even. Beautiful. But all you really need is a wider bottom pot that's gonna fit all of your ingredients in it with a cover on top. Simple
Covers
as that.
the important part.
Yes.
So braising proteins makes sense, but why would we want to braise vegetables?
Why, Stacey?
Because it coaxes the sweetness out of them and makes them luscious. That's what I call it. Turnips or radish, for example, have a sharp flavor that to some just isn't their favorite. This technique mellows those sharp flavors, and when cooked with caramelized onions, sweetens them up.
Aha, I like it. So today we're going to make a braised root vegetable medley. So the setup, cutting board, sharp knife, peeler, scrap bowl, freezer, RPB, resealable plastic bag for your scraps that can be used for stock later on, Dutch oven, a variety of root vegetables that have been scrubbed, dried, peeled, and cut into 2-inch pieces, olive oil, salt, pepper, and any herbs that you would like. We have thyme here today with us.
Yeah, we're going to use up the time here.
Yes.
Roasted beets you can add later when serving. Cooking them with the entire braise mixture, you can do it, but it's going to turn absolutely everything pink. So I'm going to move this out of the way.
Excellent. All right.
Now we are going to start cutting.
Here we go.
I am all about chop and drop recipes,
Yes.
but for this particular one, I really like to have all these vegetables cut ahead of time and all ready. They're root vegetables. They're a little harder. I don't want to be rushing when I'm cutting them because it's very easy for that knife to skid right off
Safety
the
first.
skin, and then you clip yourself, and we just don't want to do that. So first ingredient is the onion. We're going to cut into a medium dice. Actually, Denise is going to cut it into a medium dice.
I'm all over this.
There we go.
Get over there.
There you go. And we're going to add this to the pot with some olive oil that we have warm, and then let them caramelize. Now, we're going to leave the top off while it's caramelizing, because that is going to allow the water to evaporate, and then we're going to get all those really nice brown bits.
Nice.
And sugars will release, and all that really good stuff is going to happen.
All that fun stuff.
So once this goes in, I'm going to let it cook for maybe 10 to 15 minutes and stir it, and then go from there with your thyme. Now, the thyme can vary, and what I mean by this is the type of pan you use. This has got a really heavy bottom. It's even cooking.
Right.
You can use a thinner pan, but you might have to adjust your temperature, and it may cook actually a tiny bit quicker, so you may have to go lower with the temperature.
Lower the
You just have to
temperature.
fool around with
Yeah.
it, because you do not want to brown these quickly,
No.
and you don't want to burn them, because then that winds up making them bitter.
Bitter, and then it's ruined.
So we put
Okay.
those in there.
Yep, so we've got all of our onions
Actually,
in there.
I think that this is a big onion. I think that's enough.
Think
onion.
that's good?
Yeah, I think that's good. All right, I'm going to start this on the stove.
Beautiful. So next we have carrots, turnip, garlic, and celeriac.
Right. So we're going to cut these on camera.
Okay.
We have some of them already done.
Right.
So we're just going to wind up seeing what we can do for cutting. So let me hold that aside, that way the camera can get in.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're just going to cut them into these
All right,
size.
so we're going to get these. Get that.
There you go. gonna do the potatoes. We already have radish done. It's a small one. I just love this mix of vegetables. It really does use a lot of stuff you hold aside and a lot of the stuff that's going to come in the spring share.
Yes, definitely.
You know, and it just winds up adding a lot of different flavors to it. And then the caramelized onions, it's really delicious. Oh, we have a lot of potato. I think we are
A lot of color,
so good on
all these different flavors.
this point right now. And I really, one of my favorite ways to do this is with the turnip.
Yes.
I love the turnip with this. All right, we're gonna keep on chopping. We're waiting for the onions to catch up with us.
Yes.
So just give us a few minutes and we'll be back and we'll show you what the onions look like.
Sounds good. Our onions are caramelized and beautiful. So now we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of liquid. You can use wine, broth, tomatoes if you like. We're using some broth. And the whole point here is we wanna scrape up all of those brown bits, the bottom. Such a technical term, I love that.
The brown bits, because the brown bits are flavor.
They are flavor, they're delicious.
Now, hold on, I'm gonna tip this up just so you can see what
Yes,
we're talking
it's
about.
gorgeous.
And this did just come off, so it's pretty
hot.
hot.
It's hot, hot.
So that's what the onions look like.
Beautiful.
I don't know if we can quite see that or not.
Hopefully we can see that. And you can see that it keeps getting deeper and deeper just the time that it's actually in there, which is nice.
Okay. So have that right there.
So then carrots, turnip, garlic, and celeriac, they're all going in the braising hot tub.
You go first.
Okay. They're all going in here, guys. They're in.
These are all the potatoes.
And then we're gonna get this back on the stove for about 5 minutes.
Just gonna kind of stir it around just a
get
little
all
bit. Get the
onion
broth
goodness.
and the onion goodness all around it. Because that onion is now nice and sweet.
Yes, I
All
wish you
right.
could smell this already. So we're gonna get this back on the oven, like we said, for about 5 minutes, just to get it cooked down a little bit more. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a carton of broth or stock, then enough water to cover these about 2/3 of the way.
You don't want to cover them completely and submerge them because then you have soup.
Correct.
We're going for braise. So you want to leave the top part, so about 2/3 of the way up.
Excellent. And then once we get the liquid in, we're going to do our radish, any herbs that we might want to use, cover, and we're going to let this come to a simmer, cook for about 20 minutes.
So you're going to pretend that 5 minutes has gone by so we don't have to make anybody wait again. And we are going to put the rest of the broth in.
Beautiful. That's actually
Okay.
perfect.
I think that's actually perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely. Radish.
We planned it that way.
In we go. And you want to add the...
Yeah. So we're using some fresh thyme, and you just can take the time and pull these little guys off, but we've already prepped some.
And a whole bunch there. I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir, get the thyme in the liquid.
It's really good.
Okay. This already smells amazing at this point.
As soon as the thyme hit that heat, you could just smell.
Right. All right. And we
Heat activated, Stacey. Heat activated herbs.
More
there.
heat activated herbs. Cover goes on.
Okay. And then in about 20 minutes or so, you're going to check for tenderness and then adjust from there if it needs a little bit longer. Do you need a little more liquid?
Right. So you just want to bring it up to a simmer. So I have it on just a tiny bit higher right now because I want
Okay.
it to all heat up. And then that'll take like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'm going to turn it right back down because those Dutch ovens are so thick bottomed, they really, really hold the heat.
The heat, definitely.
incredible.
They are fun to cook with. Okay, so this is a great make-ahead meal. You can cool and package for the fridge. It reheats wonderfully.
Of course, we have one already
Yes.
to show you.
You could serve this as a side or even over a grain with a protein. Look how beautiful this is.
Oh, look at how steaming hot it is.
Steaming
there
hot.
we go.
Coming at you. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I'm going to take a little bit so we can taste, just to see how the seasonings are. if it needs anything else. Of course, we're probably going to burn our mouths. But a little bit of the seasoning liquid. I'll leave that there.
Let that cool.
Now it's tasting time.
Tasting
Taste for the
time.
seasonings and see how we go. We have a little onion.
It's piping
Okay,
hot.
this is
Stacey.
really, really hot.
We're gonna
Okay.
burn our faces off here.
Whoops.
Oh, so hot.
It's very hot, but that's really, really good.
It's really sweet.
And that's got the turnip in it.
Right.
And the radish in it.
I just gotta turn it.
And that whole thing is it's the
Very
caramelization
sweet.
of the onions and then having it cook out. It
That's
cooks
really
out the
good.
bitterness. I think it needs a little salt.
Could use some salt.
I think it needs a little bit of salt. So we'll do that. Mix it all together.
Nice.
So you can see how hot this is at this point. I would let this come to room temperature and then you can package it. You can have it for the week. You can have it for dinner. You can serve this over rice. You could serve it over a salad.
Right.
I've actually had this cold.
Oh.
It's really good cold because it doesn't have a lot of fat in it. So it's not like it
Nothing's
gets all
gonna congeal.
or anything
Right,
like that.
it'd
It's
be
it's
weird when it
delicious.
gets cold.
And it's also really nice again on a piece. I have a piece of fish over it.
Oh, it's so
all your
good.
vegetables and everything.
Bed
you know
of
the
greens.
other thing that it's really good for?
What?
Rice bowl night.
What's rice bowl night?
What is rice bowl night?
You want to know what rice
Stacey?
bowl night
Yes.
is? This is called pull out all your leftovers
Okay.
from the refrigerator and chop them up, put them in cute little bowls, lay them all out, make yourself some rice or maybe a couple different kinds of rice. And you lay them all out and everybody makes
Their own bowl?
their own bowl, their own little dishes. And it just helps using up the leftovers and it doesn't feel like leftovers.
Right.
So sometimes families are like, oh, I don't want to do leftovers
I'm not
anymore.
doing leftovers. We had that yesterday.
Correct. So if you can slide this over, I'll show you what our choices are.
All right. Well, now you've got me excited.
It is pretty exciting.
It's really hot.
Yep. So we have
All right.
sauces.
Colorful.
Very colorful. Here's all our choices of sauces.
Greens.
And we have some
Chicken sausage.
chicken sausage.
With jalapeno. This is a
Correct.
little spicy.
So we'll put that right there.
Okay.
Let's move those out of the way. Then we have two different kinds of rice. We have basmati rice,
Beautiful.
and then this is black rice,
So cool. I've never seen
which
this.
is right next to the basmati rice in a smaller container. It cooks a little bit longer like brown rice
Yes.
does. And it actually has some antioxidants in it because it
the
is
color.
so dark.
Oh, that's
so
great.
we thought we'd throw some things together here. So let's do, I want some greens. Do you want some
yes.
greens?
I want greens.
I'm gonna take some of the greens out of
Yeah.
there and then I'll use the other half.
We'll just do a half and half here.
And then we have a mixture of some roasted celeriac here with tomatoes and kale. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that on
And I
it.
think that's just olive oil, salt and pepper, maybe
Correct.
a bit of garlic, but that's about it.
But that's about it. There you go.
Okay. Now you put yours on the side. I'm just gonna like put it
I think I
all
want
over.
a few pieces of chicken sausage.
that kale right there. That's good.
A little protein in that.
Okay.
And then we have some diced up watermelon radish.
Look how gorgeous that is.
It's gonna give such a nice pop of color.
Beautiful.
And then we have, I think I want a couple of
Beets.
beets. What would you like? And I'll pass it to you.
I'm actually eyeballing the rice because I think I want to do that next. I'm gonna go with this black rice.
Cucumbers, dice them all up. Some people are like, the cucumber just kind of gets forgotten in the fridge.
Yeah.
But once you dice it all up, you can just add it to anything you want
It's
to add
like a
it
whole
to.
new vegetable.
It's a whole new vegetable, so I'm gonna put that on the side.
A little bit of green.
I have some green onion that I'm gonna put on top.
Love green onion.
There's that if you'd like some.
All right. I think. Yep.
I'm going with the black rice. I love this one.
Pardon my reach. I'm going for beets.
Go for it. Black rice in the
One
middle.
of my favorites. This looks
There
great.
we go. And then for that pop of pink,
Right on the top.
right on the top.
Oh, there's a
If you would
golden
like
beet
any.
too. My
Want the golden
goodness.
beet? You can have the golden beet. Now, as far as the sauces go, we have some different chili sauces. We have a spicy one and a sweet one. We have some soy sauce here. We have some sesame oil. And then I have some black sesame seeds, which add a nice little
Beautiful.
pop to the top of it. So I think I'm going to do a little chili sauce. Maybe.
Okay.
Where did our...
We have a citrus dressing
We
too.
also have a citrus dressing
Yeah,
here.
I think that's where I'm going for.
This
go for a
was
little
a
sweet,
citrus
tangy.
dressing that was made with honey, apple cider vinegar, olive oil, salt, pepper, and blood orange juice.
Blood orange, yeah. I thought it was a regular orange, but it was a blood orange, and it was a very happy little mistake.
Mistake, because it's a little bit sweeter than some of the other ones were.
And it's got this really pretty little pink color to it.
I'm gonna do a little sesame
It's
seed.
gorgeous.
Black sesame seed. Would you like any sesame seeds?
Yes. Just go like that. This is beautiful. I think we're going to need
So
to get a
let's-
nice shot of these bowls.
Show you what this looks like. Now that we have the entire refrigerator out, but this is what you do. And it's just being presented differently so it doesn't seem like
Right.
leftovers.
No.
And the nice thing is what we did forget is the braised vegetables, actually.
Oh,
Could I
the
have a
whole
spoon
reason
of
we
that?
were doing this, right?
If you have some of this left over at the end of the week, some different uses for that is on the salad. Also, what we were talking about is you can make a creamy soup out of this. So if there's anything left,
Yes.
you can add
Yeah.
some more stock to it, heat it up, and go in with your immersion blender and totally blend it up, and
Yeah.
you have a blended vegetable soup.
Delicious.
And you'll wind up using every single bit of all that you have.
Everything that you have in the refrigerator. Not one thing is going to waste.
So there you go, rice bowl night.
These are stunning.
You'll never have an excuse to have leftovers in your fridge again, including the braised vegetables.
Absolutely.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy.